That's not a hobby, dude.
That's
a career path.
It's a career style.
It's a career path.
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, so when you're not on social media, that's when you really figure it out, because it's like,
Yeah.
who's texting you?
Yeah, they're not gonna text. They're
No.
not gonna call until they need something.
Exactly.
And I got a few of those,
Yeah.
unnamed, but it'd be like, they would call when it's like, hey man, how you been? And then it's like, hey, I got a question, and and they need help doing something that I used to do. And so
this is my dude. He's been there for me through my divorce and all my different things that I've dealt with, whether it was little or big. Like, I adore his children. The first time I met his kids, I was babysitting them while he went and bought a motorcycle.
That's true. That is true. We just had our trees trimmed around here.
Yeah.
We're talking about pruning, and you can kind of see, like, even on that one right behind
Oh
you.
yeah, I see it all up this one here.
Yeah. So they cut off the suckers.
Yeah.
And the suckers are just draining the life out of it.
Uh-huh.
Like, but the tree's still trying to do its thing. And
Yep.
I realized I had a lot of suckers.
You had a lot. we call that a parasitic relationship.
Yep. Definition.
They suck the life out of you for their gain.
Yep.
And there was a lot of hurt.
Yeah.
There was a lot of hurt.
Yep. There was.
And the fact that you guys have worked through that to get to where you are now and still aren't stopping,
Yeah.
that's what's cool.
Get a little liquid death.
Little
drink
liquid
here.
death. Have you tried the cola one?
I did, but I didn't really love it.
I drink the cola and the Dr. Pepper one almost every
Really?
day. Yeah.
I think it's because I didn't realize it was like, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, new colors.
Yeah.
And I don't think I read it. I just read it.
But also, I think people get disappointed because it doesn't taste like Coke.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's a cola. It's not a Coke.
But people naturally put
Coke and cola together, but this is closer to a Pepsi or an RC.
Have you had that? There's another brand that's like, they have like cream soda, but it's a sparkling water. It's like a brand that's kind of blowing up.
It's not Olipop, is it?
No, it's not Olipop.
I like Olipops.
I haven't had those. Wait, then there's the Popped. Is there that one too?
Poppy?
Oh, Poppy.
Yeah.
Popped.
Popped, I think, is a popcorn snack.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Does my hair look good from like the profile?
You look cute as all get out, dude.
Okay, because we're trying something new, you know?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, baggy pants and baggy shirt.
Yeah, wearing work boots.
I know. These are, you
Walmart.
want to know a secret? I was like,
I saw the logo.
Secret? Walmart.
I saw the Ozark Trail logo. I'm familiar.
Dude, so, literally this is what made me, because I used to be like, I want like, now I just blanked out. What are the boots everybody wants?
Tim's.
Timberlands. So like, I was like, I really want some, but they're crazy
They're
expensive.
stupid expensive.
And then I was like, wait a minute. TikTok Shop has changed the world though, because everybody's buying knockoff brands
100%.
for like $20.
Well, and then have you heard of
$15?
DHgate?
Huh.
It's like a Temu or Shein or whatever
Probably
for
owned by
shoes,
Temu.
probably. But like you can get legit. Like I saw a pair of Yeezys on Marketplace the other day, and someone was like, "Yeah, I got these off of DHgate," and I looked at it and I was like, I could not tell the difference. I'm sure a Yeezy aficionado could, but like you can get shoes that have never come out, like the Freddy Krueger Nike SB Dunks.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm like, how many people are gonna get that close to my feet? Like,
Right.
You just called it out right now,
because
you're Gabe. But
yeah, that's just
there's
what I
little
am.
things I don't like this kind of looks cheesy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude,
But who
the look
cares?
is what I wanted.
Yeah, like people are gonna see it and be like, yeah, boots.
Yeah.
The same thing with Tim's. It's not like wearing a pair of knockoff Nikes.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows the Nike swoosh.
Yep. That was the thing I told Truett today. I was like, dude, Walmart is where to go for if you just want a bunch of different styles.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Whatever. I was like, dude, it's not like Nikes. You can't do that. You're like,
No.
If people want name brand, like Nikes are one of those, you know, for sure.
Vans even with the stripe down the side. Like everybody knows that's Vans.
Yep. Yeah, I think I couldn't wear knockoff Vans and I couldn't wear knockoff Nikes. Although I don't wear Nikes that much anymore. I kind of phased out of the Air Maxes.
Yeah, I just still have my one pair of Jordan 1s.
Yeah, I don't even have those.
Which Tony Hawk skated in. That's the only reason I wear them.
Those exact shoes?
No, I wish. Are you kidding me?
That would be sick. Oh, man. So, yeah, this is how our conversations go.
Normally.
We just talk. So, Dude, I want to introduce you guys. This is Gabe Shively.
Hello.
Mr. Gabe and I have been good friends since like 2016 or 15.
15 probably.
I think it was late 15, huh?
Yeah, it was late 15 because it would have been, I believe, the fall, or it would have been August, September.
Yeah.
Because I had just moved out of my parents' house and I got a job at Subaru.
Yep.
And they wanted me on sales.
Oh, dude.
And then quickly realized that Gabe's not cut out to sell cars. And they're like, we're going to put you in detail. And I was like, okay.
You can throw your headphones in and do your thing.
Uh-huh.
You know?
And so I went and learned how to detail cars, and he was the photo guy. And
yeah. Well, it's funny because I had not been the photo guy for very long.
Yeah.
What's his?
Casey,
but then it was like
Jeremy.
Chris was underneath him at first. Greg's
yeah,
son.
Chris was before me, though.
Oh, okay.
He was gone by the time I got there.
So I was in detail.
Yeah.
I moved to Wichita. I had gone through my divorce, and I was like, well, I want to get up here where the kids are going to be, all that stuff.
Right.
So I got a job in detail. And then Jeremy, so the old photo guy, quit.
Yeah.
Like, gave a day notice.
Yeah.
And Jeremy, Hannah, was like, I heard Taylor's pretty good with the camera. And
Uh-huh.
I'll be real honest, I kind of sucked at that time. But I was the best they had. So,
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, it's not that hard to learn how to shoot cars.
No. Although, like, the fun part was, like, dialing in the lighting.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Getting that whole system pretty dialed in
Yeah.
was fun. But it was, we were just slammed with cars.
They got a whole shipment of new Subarus.
Yeah. So I had a new shipment of Subarus. We were backed up photoing the used cars as well. And I went to Casey, and I was just like, dude, I need another photo guy.
Yeah.
I need at least somebody to drive the cars when I'm done with them and bring me new cars. And he's like, do you have anybody in mind? And it was hilarious because I instantly just said, Gabe. And we didn't know each other very well.
Super well. We had kind of talked a little bit, mostly about tattoos, and then someone would be playing music, and some pop punk song would come on, and we'd both be like, oh, dude, I love this band.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so there was and at one stage, believe it or not, I had more tattoos than Gabe.
Yep, there was a time. But that time I don't think will ever happen again.
No. What if I just get blacked out? What if I just black it out? Would that be counted as more tattoos because of square inches?
It would be more tattooed, for sure.
Yeah.
Not more tattoos, but it would be more heavily tattooed.
Yeah. What if I just start doing a bunch of like X's and O's and I just start catching up to all your
Well, that'd be
stars and
like
dots?
I was like, that'd be like me counting all my stars and dots. Like, you can't count that.
That's true.
That's just filler pieces.
Do you count them by sessions?
No, I count them by piece. Because like I have like my knee, I had 3 sessions.
Okay. Yeah.
Worst 3 sessions of my life.
Yeah. I don't want to do my knee now.
Don't. I'll tell you right now, don't. And you know the worst part about it? Now I kind of have to do the other one because I already have tattoos on this leg, and I can't have one knee with a beautiful mandala and then one boring skin knee.
It's your least favorite knee now.
Yeah, like I hate this knee. There's nothing on it.
Oh God. So yeah, we literally Casey was like, Gabe, okay. So, and I think there was just like a natural chemistry where I was just like, we like the same things, it seemed like, and I followed you on Instagram.
Right, and I was doing a little bit of photography at the time.
Yeah. So I was like, well, he at least has the eye.
Yeah.
And that's something you can't really train well. Like,
no, that's something
I'm not
I've
a good
learned.
enough teacher to train that, I guess.
I have no idea how to train that.
Yeah.
It's just something that you have, I think. You see something and you're like, wow, that's really cool. And it's something that the average person wouldn't think to notice, or maybe you see it from a different angle. And I think a lot of that for me comes in, like, I used to love shooting, and I mean, I still will here and there, abandoned places and dilapidated things, and just like things that to the normal person would seem ugly, and finding the beauty in that.
Yep.
And I think that's honestly like the mindset you have that eye. You can shoot all your senior pictures and all that.
Yeah.
But you can figure that out.
Yep.
That's just a copying game, really.
Yep.
But to take them to the spot that nobody knows, and they're kind of like, are you sure? And then to put out something that's an absolute banger.
Yep. Dude, it's fun. Like, I think that's kind of like how my brain worked anyways, was like, and even like now as I create things, I'm kind of like, I want to create things that to the normal person is like, whoa, how did they make that? How did they see that from that fence of vines and weeds? Like, oh yeah, I'm going to sit you over here in the middle of this pile of leaves. Trust me, it's going to look amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, that even comes down to, I mean, comedy's a lot like that too. That same mentality of, I want to make somebody think something they've either never thought before, or if it's something they have thought of before, make them think of it in a different way that makes them laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and then we both know those people that try to do that and they think they can do that. And they just can't.
And they just can't.
And I'm never the type of person to tell people just to give up, but on those scenarios, I'm kind of like, just give up. Just maybe try something else.
Right.
Or, yeah, probably just try something else.
Like I know editing is not my strong suit.
Yeah.
I know I could learn it pretty easy, but even then, I think I could only get it so far.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I fell in love with shooting film.
Yep.
Was because there's no editing.
Yeah.
It's just, you get what you get.
You're getting it in the camera. Dude, I've got 2 Pentax cameras now.
Okay.
One that's Becky's dad's, one that we got gifted.
Okay.
And I want to dial those in and go shooting again soon. But
yeah.
One's an Asahi, like, Pentax, and one is the, God, forget it. It's like, but anyways, one's like the Japanese original version, and one is like the American version.
Okay, that's
There's
sick.
nothing, I've done all the research, there's nothing different about them at all. Except one was made in Japan.
And one was made here.
And it wasn't like the made in Japan, like cheap crap type of stuff.
Yeah, no, it was like
legit.
From Japan.
Yeah, so I've got some like film gear I want to like take out soon. And that would be a dope vlog.
Oh, that would be sick.
Sure.
I've got a couple rolls that I need to go get developed. One of them has one of your concerts on it still.
Oh, dude. I have 3 rolls I need to go to get developed, but I want to do it with Justin Carey. Yeah, he has the film lab, and so I want to do it so I can like vlog the process of him developing the film.
Yeah, that would be sick.
And then I can give him like that as like content.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, so so as you can see, we've got a lot of things we can just go on tangents about.
Couple little ramblers.
Dude, we've been through a lot of stuff together.
A lot of stuff together.
I was like starting to think, so what I wanted to do is like this series of, I kind of told you a little bit about it. Honestly, ours will probably have a part 2 and a part 3.
Oh, I'm sure.
To be honest, but I wanted to do a series called The Ones Who Stayed.
Yeah.
And this was kind of talking about, because you know, some of like recent life things, and in both of our lives actually, there have been situations where we could have had the opportunity to part ways. Just, you know, been like, hey, we're living different lives.
We even had a friend break for a little while.
Yeah.
And reconnected at Warped Tour.
Yep. Dude, I'm so grateful for that last Warped Tour.
Oh, 2018, baby.
Yep. And Becky was pregnant.
Yep.
So she's just like, you guys need to make this work. No, actually, she didn't say that, but I was like, it was one of those things, like we were in the same place at the same time. And
you remember what band it was?
Well, Mayday Parade?
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, well, we ended up seeing, did you walk over for Falling in Reverse? No.
I caught the end of Falling in Reverse because I was staying over there for Knuckle Puck.
Oh, that's right.
And then was going to go over to the Left Foot stage to see Movements. And they were right after Falling in Reverse.
So my first impression, I knew you loved Movements.
Loved them.
My first impression of them was they're divas. Because they were like complaining about their sound and nobody else, like everybody just, when you're on like a festival tour, you're kind of like, you get what you get.
Yeah, 100%. Especially something like Warped.
Yeah. And they were the ones like, I want floor wedges.
Yeah.
And I'm like, everybody else is running in-ears. Don't be little babies. And that was before I knew it was Movements. And I'm like, oh crap, this is Gabe's band, but they're being like babies up here. But
I didn't
super
even
talented.
know any of that because I don't know audio and stuff. I just saw wedges. I was like, oh, nice. Now running in.
They're going old school.
I was like, bold choice. All right. I did follow Patrick Miranda into a McDonald's one time. No big deal. It's the most stalkerish thing I've ever done.
Dude, I feel like we all have those little things. Except when we met Nightly, which we're about to go see Nightly again next week. We just hit them on every tour, which is dope.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But we were in an antique shop, or not antique shop, vintage clothing shop.
Yeah.
Becky and I are in there, and Becky all of a sudden goes, babe, do you see who's over there? And it was the Nightly guys just like, shopping.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, do we say something or do we just like pretend we don't
just
know
play
who
cool.
They are?
Like, what's up?
But
I couldn't hide in the McDonald's. I had a Movements shirt on. Like, I was about it, dude.
I'm glad I bought my Nightly hat after that.
After
I was wearing it the rest of the night.
Yeah.
But it was like when we talked, because we had the VIP.
Yeah.
So we gotta, like,
so you got to meet him and everything.
Session, and Jonathan was like, "Weren't you guys in the vintage clothing place now?" And we're like, "Yeah, we saw you guys, but we didn't want to be
weird
those fans."
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, I feel like we all have those little moments where like, we see them in public and we're like, this is my chance to like maybe brush up against them.
Yeah.
Maybe they're
dude, when I met Ice Nine Kills, I geeked out so bad.
Really?
Oh, you would never guess that sometimes they pay me to talk into a microphone in front of people. I was like, I love you guys, and I got this tattoo on my hand because I love you guys.
Dude, so that got my brain into your podcast.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about what you do now.
Okay.
Podcast and your other hobbies that I'll let you dig into on talking into a microphone.
Oh, yeah. That's not a hobby, dude.
That's
a career path.
It's a career style.
It's a career path.
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, so, God, the end of this month will mark 3 years.
Okay.
3 years ago, let's just go back. I was in a marriage 3 years ago that sucked.
Somebody told you.
A few people told me. And I was like, nah, but I can help. Fun fact, marriage is not a rescue mission.
No.
Learned that the hard way.
Yep.
But I really wanted to try stand-up.
Yeah.
Because, like, consistently through my life, like, like we talk about, I have the eye for photography, but, editing's not really my thing.
Yeah.
As a kid, I wanted to be an actor, and so I did theater growing up, and because I'm a little attention... Sorry,
I'm not PG podcast.
Not trying to get you that little red E like there is on my podcast. But so yeah, started stand up because I was like, making laugh has always been my favorite thing in the world. Making people laugh is my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
It is truly the best medicine. No matter what state of life you're in, what the worst thing ever could have happened, but if you can get a laugh out,
yeah,
it makes things not so bad.
Yep.
Or you could be having the best day and then add laughter to it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's the best. And I was like, if there's anything that I've been exceptionally good at my whole life, is it's making people laugh. And a lot of that came out of being bullied as a kid and stuff, because I was like, I don't have any friends, but if I make these guys laugh, they're not going to be as mean to me.
Yeah.
And so, that's kind of where a lot of that comes from. Trauma, baby. And then you go through a bad marriage and you get trauma from that, which is pretty rad too. It's not cool at all.
One good thing is you have a ceiling fan though.
I do have a ceiling fan now. She took my ceiling fan, which is the most petty thing I think that has ever happened ever. Like,
I remember the phone call, you're just telling like, bro, she took my ceiling fan.
Dude.
I'm like, she got up on the ceiling and took the ceiling.
It's insane. It is insane. Like, I wasn't incredibly surprised.
Yeah.
Because she was always like, when we move someday, we're taking that fan. I was like,
oh.
No, we're not.
So she had a sentimental attachment to the ceiling fan.
She just liked it.
Yeah.
It wasn't even sentimental. It was just like, that's a nice fan. It wasn't. It was like a mid-range fan.
Did you install that one?
Of course I did.
Yeah.
I've installed more ceiling fans than I care to admit. Although they're getting easier.
Yeah.
The old ones are a lot harder, but the newer ones are not so bad.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
But anyway, so yeah, I did my first stand-up set 2 nights before I told her I wanted a divorce.
Dang.
And she came to my first open mic, and I told her I didn't want her to because I wanted to just make strangers laugh.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if I could do this. I didn't need anyone else's validation that I knew.
Yep.
I wanted to know for myself, and then, if this becomes a thing, then we'll talk about you coming out. But for right now, this is I want this to be my thing. And she showed up anyways, and that was kind of one of the last straws I think we got in a big fight the next night too. We did, because I wanted to go to another open mic, because I did it once and I was like, yup, this is the move.
You're like, I see where this is going.
I'm getting a divorce and I'm going all in on comedy. And it was one of the greatest decisions of my life.
Yeah.
Honestly. And so through that, I met Felix Johnson.
Let's go. Shout out Felix.
Big Felix. That's my dude.
Yep.
He's my best friend. Like, Taylor's also my best friend. For the record, I have 4 best friends. Yeah, I have 4 best friends.
Am I the oldest best friend?
Yes.
So I have seniority.
You do have some seniority.
Even though you've known some of them longer. Maybe Austin.
Austin's the only one I've known longer.
But he's a young pup compared to me.
Yeah. You're older than me, so.
You just need to start calling your best friends your brothers.
Yeah.
Then I'm your older brother.
Yeah, you're my big brother. Oh, 5. I guess I gotta have 5 because my little brother.
Yeah, dude. What a champ.
He's the coolest person I know. Like, Taylor's second coolest. It's a close second, but my little brother's the coolest person I know.
Dude, I dream of being as cool as him.
Right?
Like,
he's just so chill.
Yeah.
But anyways, through comedy, met Felix. And Felix and I connected because him and my youngest sister went to high school together.
Okay.
And we made that connection. Yeah. And then, we're both at all the mics. We're both working out material, and we just became fast friends.
Yeah.
And because we're comedians, we're like, we should do a podcast.
Yep.
So we started a podcast, called it That Checks Out with Gabe and Felix, because I say that checks out all the time.
Yep.
Be like, someone will come up with a scenario, be like, that checks out.
Yep.
And so that's how we came up with the name. And we've been doing it for 2 years, over 2.5 years almost.
Let's go.
Every Tuesday, and I think we've only missed 4 Tuesdays in that 2 years.
Dude. That's one.
And I think 3 of those that we missed, we had a clips episode, or at least 2 of them, we had a clips episode to go with it.
That's one thing, like, and the stats probably more than I do, is like most podcasts end by, before they get to 10 episodes or before they get to 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Because everybody has like the ambition to start a podcast.
Everybody wants to.
But it's like, some people suck at it.
Some people are so bad at it.
It's like, nobody's going to watch you. Like,
yeah.
But 2, it is a lot of work. Like
it's a lot.
It's commitment and dedication. Like, all right, every single week we're going to sit here and record it. There's the edit.
And then we do an hour.
Yeah.
And we don't cut anything.
Yep.
Because we know what we say has consequences and we're willing to accept it.
Yep.
But yeah, like even still going in and splicing everything together and throwing in like a little clip in the middle and the titles and everything, and then uploading it and scheduling it everywhere, and then getting your clips made and making them, and like, because we'll use Opus, the AI software, to do most of our clipping, but every now and then there's a moment that we know we're like, that's a good clip, and I don't think Opus will pick up on that.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like Opus reads comedy super well.
No. I don't think it reads a lot of things very well.
No, but what it does read well, and we can usually pull a nugget out of it, is hot topics.
Oh, yeah.
So if we're going on about, like, we talked a lot about the Righteous Gemstones.
Yep.
That's why I'm wearing these glasses, because Uncle Baby Billy is my favorite character of
fan of the glasses.
all time, dude. He's the best.
Did you get those from Temu?
Amazon, actually. I got these ones from Amazon.
Bro, I'm gonna have to get some for part 2. I can match.
Yeah, dude. I got some blue tinted ones too. It's like a tortoise shell, and
okay.
I'm a little glasses boy now.
I like it.
My girlfriend doesn't love them because apparently I turn into an a-hole when I have them on.
Yeah, I can see that.
I channel Uncle Baby Billy. Sorry. But when you get to my age, you gotta get it where you can get it.
Uncle Bobby Billy. What is it?
Uncle Baby Billy.
Uncle Baby Billy. Uncle Bobby.
Uncle Bobby Billy.
I don't think I've seen. Okay, I don't think I've seen it.
Righteous Gemstones.
Is that Adam Sandler?
Danny McBride. They're mega church pastors.
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems. Yeah, that's a good movie.
I have no idea what you're talking about then.
Righteous Gemstones on HBO. They just finished it.
Okay.
They did 4 seasons. It's over now, but they're mega church pastors.
Oh.
They're all terrible people.
So it's like the Hillsong story.
A little bit. Like it pulls from all those aspects and stuff. And like Uncle Baby Billy is their uncle who like he's kind of like one of those old tent revival pastors that got a little too big.
Yep.
And a little too big for his britches.
Reverend Al Sharpton.
Dude.
I'm just name dropping today.
He's so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of my favorite shows of all time. I think Danny McBride's a genius for it. I think if you're in the church or if you're not in the church, you can see aspects of people that you've met or seen online or something.
Yep.
Like, just go follow Pastors with Props on Instagram.
Pastors with Props.
Dude, one church built a roller coaster on the stage.
Like legit?
Like legit, and they rode around on it.
Oh. That sounds like something Mike Todd would do.
100%.
I'm already realizing that, we're just going to have to, because we got technically like 4 minutes left before the 30 minutes is up. So
let's record another part real quick.
Yeah.
Where we get into the deep stuff, and then we could just take snippets out of this.
Yeah. And so I think I still want to talk. So we talked about the podcast. We talked about your comedy and stuff. So you've been doing comedy for 3 years?
3 years.
And a podcast for 2 years.
Podcast for, 2.5.
What's your goal on the podcast side? What are you pushing for?
I want comedy to be my full-time job. Mm-hmm. I want to tell jokes forever and get paid for it. Yep. It feels really cool. Like, it's fun to tell jokes. It's even more fun when you get paid for it.
Yeah.
And
I can imagine.
So, and I think if anything's going to catch out of Wichita, Kansas, it'll be the podcast. Like, I've done shows in KC. I've got one in Emporia next month. But, like, I've done shows in Texas. But, like, overall, Wichita's not a happening spot.
Yeah.
But also, I kind of want it to be.
Yeah.
At least a little happening. I think I think it's underrated.
Yeah.
It's a chill place. Like, just because there's not stuff going on every single day.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to relax in your day-to-day life, I think this is a good place to do it.
Yeah. So, what do you think? What's stopping Wichita from being like the next, like, or to being the hot comedy spot? Like, what's stopping? I don't know that world at all.
It's a weird world.
Yeah.
It's a really weird world. I mean, you look at comedy club owners and managers. Their job is wrangling psychopaths.
Yeah.
No comedians are normal people.
Yeah.
All of us are messed up.
Yeah.
And I think part of it comes from, we had a loony bin, but I don't think, if I'm being 100% honest, loony bin doesn't get the biggest names.
Yeah.
And not that I'm saying you need to have a comedy club that's hosting Joe Rogan and Tom Segura and all that, but you need to have a comedy club that's hosting people with a well-known podcast at least. Maybe like a lot of those guys are up doing theaters now.
George Janko. Do you know George Janko?
I know the name.
So he was on, is it Logan Paul that has the podcast?
Yes.
He was like the third person on.
Okay, yeah.
This fallout and.
Yeah.
But dude, he's blowing up. He's like a Christian dude.
Okay.
But he's like our type of Christian dude.
Okay.
But he's got like 200 and something podcasts now, or 260 or something like that. He went from like Brandon Lake to. He's had what's his oh my gosh, who's the dude he's Christian now, he's Catholic, not Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
Long hair, he plays on Get Into the Greek.
Russell Brand.
Yeah,
he's getting in trouble though again.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, bro. Yeah, he had Russell Brand, but then he'd go into he doesn't just bring Christian dudes on.
Yeah, that's good.
Those are the ones that drew me in, because like, Brandon Lake's on with George Janko.
Right.
But he's and he opened for Dave Chappelle just recently.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's a comedian. And so he was talking about how Dave Chappelle was like, there's no phones.
Yeah.
At all. So you lock your phones away.
Yep.
Whether you're in an arena or a small.
You put them in the yonder pouch. I went to Joe Rogan when he did the arena here. We did that, and when I went and saw Bob Dylan a couple months ago at Century 2.
I forgot you said that. I knew you said it about Bob Dylan. I forgot you said it about Rogan.
Yeah, which
I love that.
I respect so much.
Yeah.
Because the thing with comedy is when you go see a touring comic, they're working out stuff for the next special they're going to put out.
Yeah.
So even if you go see them, if you see them in Wichita, what they record for their special could be totally different.
Yeah.
Because they're working out those materials, seeing what works. Like, oh, I know this one works pretty good.
Yeah.
Ooh, but I changed my tone on this delivery of this word, and that shifted the entire joke.
Yeah.
It's crazy what one little inflection can do.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this was is pretty much just an introduction into this series that I remember I sent you a text. I'm like, hey, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Here's some names I'm thinking. And we both were thinking The Ones Who Stayed.
Yeah.
Like, instantly.
It gave me, in a way, it sounds like the title of a zombie movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. It's like, what'd you say? It was ominous?
It's very
like
ominous.
Yeah.
It's The Ones Who Stayed. It gives me the same vibe as Let the Right One In.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that?
I have.
Vampire movie.
Yep.
Which, fun fact about vampires, they can't come in your house if you don't invite them into your house.
Same as
So
demons.
if you suspect someone of being a vampire, don't invite them into your house.
Yeah.
It's common sense.
Is MGK considered a vampire now?
No, he just is a poser.
Okay.
I don't sleep well on full moons, so I can still have garlic bread, but...
You seen the Office episode where there's a bat?
Yes,
and
of course.
Jim's just like, it's like...
Yeah, he starts pretending to be one.
Yeah.
but that's kind of the vibe it gave me.
Yeah.
Was like, it's almost apocalyptic in a way.
Yeah.
Because there were times where it felt like the world was ending.
Oh, bro. And I think I was literally driving and I was sitting here thinking like, 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy to think it was 8
That's
months
crazy.
ago, bro?
Yeah.
8 months ago, I gave you a call and my world had just fell apart. Due to my own doing.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know what to do.
Yep.
And there was a really distinct moment where you could have been like, oh, I'm out.
Yeah. Sorry, dude. I can't affiliate with that. Like, whatever. I'll never forget it because I got a tattoo that day.
Yep.
I don't remember which one it was. It was either the spider on my shoulder or this eyeball guy right here.
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
You were waiting outside.
I was waiting because the guy I go to in town's walk-in only. And so I'm like, I'm going to be there first.
Yep.
And so I was outside like 2 hours before he opened. And sure enough, my phone rings and it's Taylor. And I was like, oh, what's up, buddy? Just expecting him to be like, hey, I'm down at the store. You should come down today.
Yeah.
And
I was not at the store.
He was not at the store. And I remember in that moment, at first, like there was a moment of disappointment.
Yeah.
For sure. I was like, dude, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Why? How? What? But like, as fast as I thought that, even faster came, this is one of my best friends. I've been with him, 8 years?
Yeah.
I think we decided 8 or 9.
Yeah, I was there in about 9 years probably.
Yeah. If it was 25th, no, it would have been 16.
Yeah.
Because I started at my current job in 17.
Okay.
And I was a missionary before that, and that was after high school, so it would have been 16.
Okay, so 8. Well, that's still close to 9 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm like, this is my dude. He's been there for me through my divorce and all my different things that I've dealt with, whether it was little or big. Like, you know, I adore his children. The first time I met his kids, I was babysitting them while he went and bought a motorcycle.
That is true.
And I was like, this is my dude, and I got to look out for him. And I was like, well, if you need a place to stay, you know my house is always open.
Yep.
I get done with my tattoo, and sure enough, I get a phone call. It's like, hey, we're on our way.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, dude. Okay.
Well, no, it was like, so we crashed at your house like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
You know, it was one of those things like confusing to the kids for sure.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening? We're going to go stay at Uncle Gabe's house for a little bit. And so
Uncle Gabe's house is not very kid-friendly.
It's better now, but it's, you know.
As long as you don't go in the basement.
Yeah. We just stay out of there.
That sounds weird. I'm not taking kids into my basement. That is not what I said.
There are not locks on the doors.
There are not. Although the door handle on one of those doors is questionable. But let's be real, I'm more likely to lock myself in the basement on accident.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like I locked myself in the garage a couple weeks ago.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if I told you about that.
You did tell me about that.
Yep, go watch.
You're going to have to watch his episode.
Our podcast. The episode is Kanye West and the Great Sandwich Incident.
gosh. Yeah. So I mean, we don't have enough time to get into everything.
Every little detail and stuff.
That's why I want to get into bring you back. Now that we did like the introduction.
Yeah.
Because I want like the ones who stayed is gonna be like people like you and Augie and just people that are coming that have literally stuck by our side.
Yeah.
Through one of our like hardest times, like freaking Jay, like dude, that dude is a champion. And when I was driving, I was literally looking. I was like, dude, I lost a lot of people in my life.
Yeah.
That I called brothers.
But did
family.
you lose them or did you prune them?
Yeah. I would say it was a good pruning process.
I'd say it was a big, heavy prune.
Yeah.
The stuff got overgrown for a little bit there.
Yeah.
We had to trim it back.
Yep. And then you have the ones who stayed.
Yeah.
You know, and it was kind of one of those
You got
things,
the roots.
like, exactly.
The ones that have been there the longest.
Yeah. And when it's interesting when you get into a spot in life when everything falls away.
Yeah.
You don't have really anything to offer these people that are like for example.
You got me hazelnut Uncrustables.
Do what?
You got me hazelnut Uncrustables. That was pretty good.
That is true. I did try to do that. I think I did your dishes a couple times too.
That's probably fair. I probably didn't even notice because I don't do them often.
But it's like we just had our trees trimmed around here.
Yeah.
We're talking about pruning and you can kind of see like even on that one right behind you.
Oh yeah, I see it all up this one here.
Yeah. So they cut off the suckers.
Yeah.
And the suckers are just draining the life out of it. Like, but the tree's still trying to do its thing. And I realized I had a lot of suckers.
You had a lot. we call that a parasitic relationship.
Yep. Definition.
They suck the life out of you for their gain.
Yep. I had a lot of that in my life and didn't see it until I had nothing else to offer those people.
Yeah.
And then the ones who stayed in our life, in our corner, was people like you that were like, no, like I'm not here because Taylor has something to offer, like whether it's creative or whatever it might be that people thought.
Yeah.
Like, those people disappeared, like
100%.
off the face of the planet. Now it didn't, like I did cut people out in the sense of like I need this to be gone. Some of them, and then I just disappeared off of social media.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I don't want this type of lifestyle anymore.
When you're not on social media, that's when you really figure it out because it's like, who's texting you?
Yeah, they're not gonna text. They're not gonna call until they need something.
Exactly.
And I got a few of those.
Yeah.
Unnamed, but it'd be like, they would call when it's like, hey man, how you been? And then it's like, hey, I got a question, and and they need help doing something that I used to do, and so. Yeah, so I mean, I think this series will be really focused on like one, just honoring the people that have stayed in our ring, in our corner, because the people who did stay were in Becky and I's corner.
Yeah,
like, not just like pro Becky or pro Taylor, but they are like pro us,
exactly,
and also like pro what is best for us.
Like, and I think that's an important thing to like note is that, and I was very open about this even through that whole time. I had some hard talks with you that I didn't want to have.
Yeah.
But, I, as your friend, I had to.
Yeah.
But I made it clear the whole time, like, I'm team Taylor and Becky. If this doesn't work out, I'm still going to go with Taylor because he's my boy. I've been friends with him. There's nothing that we can't get through together.
Yeah.
So, like, no matter what, like, yeah, I'm already a little partial, I guess, to Taylor in a way, but not even, because I was 100%. I was 100% both teams.
Yeah.
Which makes me 200% team both of you.
Yeah.
You know, everybody had their things they were doing. You were doing work on yourself. She was processing on her own.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I 100% support that. I 100% support that. And if you guys want to work this out and make this work, I 200% support that.
Yeah.
I'm not guaranteeing anything.
Yep.
Because there was a long time where we were like, I don't know what's going to happen.
We don't know.
And,
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, you guys are doing it.
Yeah.
It's opened up opportunities like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, it seemed like honestly, the process happened quick in the big scheme of things, but it seemed
100%.
like it took forever. Like, we were talking all the time, just being like, hey, there was this one, she answered my text.
Oh, yeah, dude.
She answered my call.
I got to see the kids.
Yep.
Like, she left them with me for the night.
Yep.
Like, it was those steps. They were just one at a time.
Yeah.
And eventually to where I came over to grab some gear or something, and you guys were cooking dinner together.
Yep.
And I was just like, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And you kind of like
this
grabbed me like, I love this. You know, like to me and Becky, just like, I can't remember what exactly you said, but just
this is what healing looks like.
Yeah.
This is what, like, and there was a lot of hurt.
Yeah.
There was a lot of hurt.
Yep. There was.
And the fact that you guys have worked through that to get to where you are now and still aren't stopping.
Yeah.
That's what's cool.
Yeah.
If you guys had gotten to now and then just been like, all right, we're fixed, I would have been like, yo, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But because you guys are continuing to work and I see it and I hear it and I'm just like, every time someone asks me, how's Taylor doing? And I get to be like, he's doing awesome.
Yeah.
And Becky's doing awesome.
Yeah.
Like, they're working together on podcasts. They're doing stuff for each other, with each other. I mean, when I texted you about today, you were like, let me double check because that's Becky and I's day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I respect the hell out of that.
Yep.
That's the first time I've cussed on this show, which is a record for me.
It's fine. It's fine. We'll leave that one.
We'll leave that. That's in Cars, and that's rated G. So,
dude, and even that, like, we're recording her and I's podcast right after this.
Yeah.
And like, we've got a bunch of gardening stuff we're doing. She's got 2 days off a week, like Sundays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays off now.
Oh, nice.
Which is gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
There's just so much to do.
There's a lot.
And so it's like we want to keep peace, and that's like a priority, and that's I just
went through that. Yeah. I'm still going through it. You know, we just remodeled my house just to make it a more peaceful place. And she even at one point had said, like, I can feel the energy of other people that have lived here.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, yeah, it's a well-insulated house. Like, it keeps stuff.
Got old boogers on the wall.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Underneath the paint.
Yeah.
It adds texture.
It adds texture. Yeah, we had to cover that up. But like, just really working hard to make especially your home a place of peace is so important. I feel like not enough people realize the importance of that.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe they know it's important, but until you have it, you don't know how. It's like you don't miss what you'd never had.
Exactly.
And so like once we realized what peace looked like, felt like, when we stripped Becky and I's relationship down to bare bones, we don't even literally say like we rebuilt this. Yeah. It's like we're just starting over.
Yeah.
Like, this is like marriage 2.0.
Right.
I heard that from like Carl and Laura. They talked about like this is marriage 2.0. Like,
well, and I even told you when this was all first happening, I was like, if you guys are going to work this out, you guys have to start dating again.
Yeah.
You know, you have to make time for yourselves and go out and do things. You can't just cohabitate and call it good. Like, you have to date. You have to start dating. And you have to, one of the things we've learned is you have to have those conversations, period. You have to have those conversations. 100%.
All of them. Because one of the things we did so poorly before was literally the fact that I would have something that bothered me. Yeah. But it's like I wouldn't bring it up. And I know like so many people do this. It's like, you don't want to fight. Is it worth it?
I don't like confrontation. So
exactly. And it's like, but in the end, I don't want to be the guy that's like tearing her down. But in the end, literally, we have started having conversations when little things bug us. And we realize that the other person didn't even realize it. Yep. And it changed instantly when I would be like, hey, why do you do this? Like, why do you respond like that? And she would be like, I didn't realize. I didn't even know that. She's like, I'm so sorry. People hit me with, don't roll your eyes at me. I'm like, I didn't even know I did that. Yeah. Like I'm a chronic eye roller. I do that true. And don't you roll your eyes at me? And he's like, I didn't. I'm like, you literally just did. You just did it, dude. I watched it. You can't see your own eyes. Say it one more time. You're grounded for life. It's gonna be a long life for you. No more watching Gabe stream Grand Theft Auto. This is the kind of attitude you're gonna get. Bro, I took the side note, and then we're about to wrap this up. Yeah. I took Zion's TV off his wall the other day. Like, that kind of parenting is happening right now. Nice. Like, we had a long conversation. It kind of feels good, though. Because you're like, I almost took his ceiling fan.
Oh, you know, the thing that sucks about that is you would have had to reinstall it. There's no way he's figuring that
I
out.
would have been like, you can get this back when you can install it.
He's the weight of a ceiling fan. Like,
but dude, no, I think that's one thing I wanted before wrapping up is just encourage, like, you're happy in your relationship.
Yeah.
I love seeing. There's a time where I was like, I don't know if Gabe's ever gonna find somebody that one that he, like, you know, finds is valuable enough to spend life with.
Yeah.
Two, I was like, just like the hurt inside of you. I'm like, is that gonna heal? Like, I don't know.
There's still, I mean, even in the last couple weeks, especially.
Yeah.
Like, there's been things that have come up in me that I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. And that's like when she said she could feel the energies of people from in my house. I was like, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
And so let's sage this whole place and
just oil all the doorways.
Yeah.
No, it's like there was, and then I also, on like being your boy, I'm like, is there gonna be somebody that's like worth your time? Like, because after everything with your ex, I'm just like, literally, I was so protective even in that one.
Oh yeah, if I can.
I'm just like, dude, this girl's gonna have to be something special, and it might seem like a small thing, but even like when I jumped by the other day to get something, she's like, do you need a new key? And I'm like, to me, I was just like, because I've had a key to your house ever since, you know, I moved in the last 2 weeks, but I'm just like, I was like, that felt special to me because I'm like, you guys are starting your life together in that house. And so I'm like, she's like, not just saying, do you want a key to Gabe's house? It's like, hey, do you need a key to our house? So,
and I told her how much that meant to me too, just because that means you understand me and my relationship with my friends.
Yeah.
Like,
it's huge.
Taylor, Felix, Austin, and Clay.
Yep.
All have keys to my house.
Yep.
Not at the moment because I got to get them new ones made. But like,
yeah,
those guys will always have a key to my house. So no matter what they need, where they're at, they have a place of peace and comfort.
Yep. No, I think that's just huge, and it's cool for her to see that. And I think, you have a roadmap. You can watch what not to do by watching my relationship.
Yeah.
And, but it's cool to see like that growth in you, and super excited to get you back on the pod.
Yeah. This is fun. I like the layout here too.
Yeah.
I think we got something here.
Oh, dude. The fun thing about this pod is like nobody's watching the cameras, so I'm always like, no. I hope they're recording.
Yeah.
I hope the light looks okay.
Been there.
But dude, it's I'm super excited. We'll get you back for another one here soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Today worked out because you were off and you got to go get a refrigerator from your house in 30 minutes.
Yeah, so. They're delivering it to my house.
Yeah.
So I got to be there for
bro. We just got a new fridge last month, and we're so excited for a fridge.
I know. It's so weird the things you get excited for as an adult.
Yeah.
Is like, ooh, I'm excited for our new couch.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to sit on
that thing a lot. Like, okay, cool.
Yep. Oh, dude. But love you, man.
Love you too, dude. And thanks for let's do this more, and thanks for having me on here.
Yeah. Make sure you check out Gabe and Felix's podcast.
That checks out with Gabe and Felix.
Make sure you check out. Oh yeah. Yeah, go. Yeah.
That checks out with Gabe and Felix. New episodes every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Follow us on your socials.
Yep.
Follow him on your socials because he's back on them now.
TikTok and YouTube.
Which are the only ones that matter.
Yeah.
Facebook's only good for Marketplace.
Exactly.
But check us out. We have clips all the time. We do silly things. Yep. Not for children, though.
Not for children.
If you're Truett or Addie watching this,
turn it off.
You cannot watch Uncle Gabe's podcast. It's just against the rules. I say things on there that you don't need to be hearing.
Nope. So, off limits. Rated R.
Rated R. But it is
but funny.
A podcast about equality.
Yeah.
Because I'm white and my co-host is black. And we're working out together. You know? We don't work out. I don't work out. He works out, but I don't.
Dude, I saw a picture of him the other day. I was
He's lost a bunch of weight. Yeah.
It was when he was like posing for your little record thing. I was like,
Yeah.
Bro, at first I was like, is this an old picture?
No.
And then I was like, no, dude, he's looking good.
He looks good,
Felix,
dude. Skinny Felix is an animal.
Skinny Felix. Yeah, I haven't seen him in person in a minute.
Yeah.
Felix was also one that, dude, when all this went down, he was like right
He
there
was
too,
with me when I was leaving that tattoo.
Yeah.
And so I was like, let's just go to my house. Taylor's on his way over.
Yeah.
We're going to hang out. He needs us right now.
Yep.
And I kind of filled him in on the situation, and he was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Felix actually gave Taylor his key.
That's true. I got your key still, Felix. It doesn't open anything now.
No,
because the doors changed.
Because we changed
so
it.
I have a new. Anyways.
But anyways, check it out if you feel so inclined.
Yep.
Thank you for watching.
And we're going to get you out of here so you can go get a fridge.
Yep, I got to go get my fridge.
Cool. Love you, dude.
Love you, dude.
That was good.
That was fun, dude.